All right. My auto tip family. This is the theme song to Minister Karin Stewart's company. It's entitled Work Your Money. Listen to it.
Work your money.
Ah, yeah. Time to work your money. Time to work your money. That's what today's show is about. Are you an asset or a liability? Yeah, buddy. You're going to be hearing some more of this as we go throughout the show. But right now, it's time for us to lift our voices with one more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. Yeah, I trust everybody's doing absolutely blacktastic today. Come on, lift your voice with me, everybody. One more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together. One more time. One more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together. One more time. God allowed us to come together. One more time. Just one more time. God allowed us to come together. One more time. One more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together. One more. God allowed us, yeah, to come together to praise God's name, to praise His name. God allowed us to come together to praise His name, to praise His name, to praise His name. God allowed us to come together. God allowed us, yeah, to come together to sing our song, to sing our song. God allowed us to come together to sing our song, to sing our song, to sing our song. God allowed us to come together, sing our. God allowed us, yeah. Oh, yes. Now let's put those hands together to clap our hands, everybody. Come on. To clap our hands. God allowed us to come together to clap our hands. To clap our hands. To clap our hands. God allowed us to come together to clap our. God allowed us, yeah, to come together. Everybody say one more time. Just one more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. One more time. Yes. One more time. Oh, God allowed us. God allowed us, yeah, to come together one more time. God allowed us, yeah, just to praise His name. God allowed us, yeah. You've been so good and kind. God allowed us, yeah. Oh, yes, He did. God allowed us, yeah. God allowed us. God allowed us to come together. One more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. And brothers and sisters, I trust that you guys never take that for granted. You know, and we sing that song every time we come together. I've been singing that song now, man, for, my goodness, I would say close to over 40 years every week. every week. Okay. And I'm thankful. I don't get tired of singing it, especially after what I just came through and battling COVID-19 not too long ago. Like my dear friend and brother, Dr. Kuykendall, says in New Jersey when we talk, I say, how you doing, man? We both say, man, I'm alive. We are thankful. We are grateful. I'm honored today to be with you, and I'm so glad to have you with me today. Thank you, brothers and sisters, from wherever you are on this planet. Okay, you've taken time out of your schedule to be with me right now, and I appreciate you for that. Thank you so very much. Let's get right to our business at hand by opening with our oath to the ancestors. All right, let's lift our voices together and say it like we mean it. All right, let's honor those who have gone before us, whose life, deeds, legacy, and contributions have made it possible for us to be where we are today. So join the brothers and I as we say together, everybody. O ancestors, blacker than 1,000 midnights, African ancestors, it is to you that we, your children, give respect and honor. O ancestors, we call upon you and welcome you in this place. African ancestors, let your presence fill this place. O ancestors, who have been purposely excluded from the history books so that the world would not know of your greatness. Our African ancestors, who gave civilization to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave the arts to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave music to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave the sciences to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave mathematics to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave medicine to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave literature to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave philosophy to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave God consciousness to the world. O ancestors, we thank you for devoting your life to make a future for us, your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Now stand with us, strengthen us, guide us, teach us, and protect us from the snare of our enemies. Rise up, O African ancestors, and let our enemies be scattered, and give us the wisdom and the boldness to deal with the oppressors and those who would hinder the liberation and empowerment of our people. Rise up, O African ancestors, and live in us, and we will not fail to honor you. We will not fail to respect you. We will not fail to hear you, and we will not betray you. Ashe, Yebo.
And now, brothers and sisters, we want to take the time to honor just a few of the great Africans who have gone ahead of us. We call forth their great African names and honor them. To pharaohs Narmer, Zoja, Sneferu, Khufu, Khafre, Menkaure, and the great vizier and physician and multi-genius Imhotep, we say Ashe. To Queen Nitocris, Queen Sobek Neferu, Queen Ahotep,
we honor
Queen
these great African women.
Queen King Hatshepsut, Nefertiti, Queen T, and Queen Nefertari II, we say Ashe. To Menkepen Ra Tahuti Mays, known as Thutmose III, Amenhotep III, Akhenaten, Tutankhamun, Ursula Akra, Setepen Ra, Rametsu Meriamu, Ramses II, Shabaka, Taharka, Hannibal, and the great African warrior Shaka Zulu, we say Ashe. To all of the kings, queens, priests, and warriors of Nubia, Waset, Ethiopia, Kemet, Kenya,
we honor
Congo,
them today.
Tanzania, Uganda,
we honor their memory
Central,
today.
South, and West Al-Kibu land, we say
Ashe.
To the more than 600 million Africans whose lives were lost in the European invasions of Africa and in the Middle Passage, we say Ashe. To the more than 300 million who have since lost their lives to racism and hate crimes, we say Ashe. To Harriet Tubman,
Ashe.
Frederick Douglass,
Ashe.
Mary McLeod Bethune,
Ashe.
Nat Turner,
Ashe.
Fannie Lou Hamer,
Ashe.
Sojourner Truth,
Ashe.
Carter G. Woodson,
Ashe.
Booker T. Washington,
Ashe.
Dr. Charles Drew,
Ashe.
Noble Drew Ali,
Ashe.
Benjamin Banneker,
Ashe.
George Washington Carver,
Ashe.
Bishop Richard Allen,
Ashe.
Bishop Charles Harrison Mason,
Ashe.
Howard Thurman,
Ashe.
Mother Mahalia Jackson,
Ashe.
the Honorable Marcus Mosiah
Ashe.
Garland, Benjamin E. Mays,
Ashe.
Langston Hughes,
Ashe.
Medgar Evers,
Ashe.
Paul Robeson,
Ashe.
Dr. Martin Luther King,
Ashe.
Malcolm X,
Ashe.
Thurgood Marshall,
Dr. Yusuf
Mother
bin
Cloud
Yakinen,
Hale, Adam Clayton
Dr.
Powell,
Asa
the
Hilliard,
Honorable Elijah Muhammad,
Brother John
Dr. Amos
Lewis,
Wilson, Dr. John Henry
Brother
Clark,
Sidney Portier,
Dr. John G. Jackson,
Brother
Dr.
Cicely
Shirley
Tyson,
Diop, Dr. Chancellor
Ashe.
Williams, Dr. George G. M.
Ashe.
James, Patrice Lumumba,
Ashe.
Kwame Ture,
Ashe.
Kwame Nkrumah,
Ashe.
Dr. Khalid Muhammad,
Ashe.
Dr. Jacob Carruthers,
That's right,
Dr.
Ashe.
Shaka Musa Badashango,
Ashe.
Brother Ray Charles,
Ashe.
to our mothers and fathers,
That's right.
our
Call forth
grandmothers
their
and grandfathers,
names if they
to our
made their
great grandmothers
transition.
and great grandfathers,
Ashe.
our brothers and sisters,
Ashe.
sons and daughters,
Ashe.
aunts and uncles,
Ashe.
nieces, nephews, cousins,
Ashe.
and
Ashe.
all those who have gone ahead of us
Ashe.
and have made their ancestral transition
Ashe.
to their life, deeds, legacy, and contributions. We say,
Ashe.
Again, we say,
Ashe.
Again, we say,
Ashe. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Join in with me as we sing this praise. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah. Allahu Akbar. Yes, 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 yes. Alhamdulillah. The English words are these. God is great and he's worthy to be praised. I say hallelujah. God is great and he's worthy to be praised. Yes, I say hallelujah. So God make us one. We all should be one. And then the unbelievers will come and say, you are with us. God make us one. We all should be one. And then the unbelievers will come and say, you are with us. God make us one. We all should be one. And then the unbelievers will come and they will say, you are with us. Yeah. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, brothers and sisters. Once again, welcome to another Sunday online Njia Fellowship of the African Village and Cultural Center. I am Ray Hagins, Chief Elder, Spiritual Teacher, and Leader of the African Village, and I'm so glad and humbled to have you guys with me right now, wherever you are on this planet. At this time, we give honor, as we just did to the ancestors, to their life, their memory, their deeds, their contributions, man. We also honor the life, deeds, memory, and contributions of our brothers and sisters in the African village. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, even those who are still with us. So we honor those there in St. Louis at headquarters at this time, and our elders there, to our brothers and sisters there in St. Louis. We honor you today. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being just who you are. Thank you for having my back. And hey, man, what can I tell you? To the brothers and sisters of the African Village of Youngstown, Ohio, we honor you as well. To our elders there, Ma'at Hotep, to the brothers and sisters and elders of the African Village of Chicago, Illinois, we honor you as well. to the African village of Detroit, Michigan. We honor you as well. To the African village of New York City, we honor you guys. To the elders there as well, brothers and sisters, Minister Waziri Wells. To the African village of Memphis, Tennessee. Oh, we honor you down there as well, Pastor Norman Red Wing and his congregation. To the brothers and sisters there in Charleston, South Carolina, we honor you as well today. Yeah, trust you guys are doing okay down there. To our affiliates, to our brothers and sisters there in Oklahoma City. Okay. Oh, yeah, man. Trust that you guys are doing well there. To our brothers and sisters there in Kansas City, Kansas and Missouri, we trust you're doing well. To everybody everywhere, to our friends and family up in Connecticut, to our friends and family down there in Florida. I haven't forgotten you guys. I always remember y'all. Never, ever forget you. And hey, what can I tell you, man? The Most High is just wonderful. And we give God the praise today for just being with us and allowing us to see another day as we are right now. Yeah, it's wonderful, family, when we have the opportunity to come together as we are. And another Sunday. I can hear Mother Julia Blackwood right now singing, just another day that the Lord has kept me. Just another day that the Lord has kept me. He's kept me from all evil with my mind stayed on him. Just another day the Lord has kept me. Brothers and sisters, we have a great show lined up for you today. A couple of weeks ago, we had this awesome sister on, and she dropped some wonderful information, and we received so much feedback from her show, and email and text messages from people thanking us for putting that show on, helping people to understand what to do with their money. Okay, how to make their money work for them. What we need to do to empower ourselves. And I believe the topic of the show that day, I can't recall it now. Maybe when Minister Stewart comes on, she can tell us what it was. But today's topic is, are you an asset or a liability? Oh my goodness, do we need to have this discussion today? Are you an asset or a liability? So, brothers and sisters, without any further ado, I want to bring this awesome, powerful woman of God on the air with us today, Minister Karin Stewart. And listen, just, before she comes on, I want to play her theme music. There was a comedy movie out, I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. And of course, in that movie, they played the theme song from Shaft, right? And the star of the movie said, "Man, what's with the music?" And the guy said to her, he said, "Every hero must have their theme music." Okay, so I got to play this hero's theme music right now, okay, for you. And while her music's playing, I'm gonna bring her on the screen. But first, I'm gonna play her announcement for her company, Capital Portfolios, and then I'll play the theme music to it. In fact, I'll play the theme music first. Okay, it's entitled "Work Your Money." Goes like this. Yeah. Check it out, y'all. Work your money. Time to work your money. Time to work your money. Woo! Oh. Work your money. Time to work your money. All right now. Now, having said that, let me play her announcement that we air on BLR.
What have you done to prepare yourself for the ups and downs of today's economy? How are you going to protect your family's assets and financial future? I'm Karin Stewart of Capital Portfolios. Call me so we can discuss things that you can do at 314-324-5711. That's 314-324-5711.
Yeah, buddy, time to make your money work for you.
Yes.
And family, I have on the air with me today Again, the most powerful financial advisor I know of, and that is our own Minister Karin Stewart. Karin, how you doing?
I am doing blacktastic, as we say at the village.
Good to have you with us again. You know,
it's good to be here.
Listen, the show that we did a couple of weeks ago was so good. It was so powerful. I got so much feedback from that show. I said, okay, I got to have Karin back on while it's still fresh in everybody's mind. You know, what was the topic of the show that we did?
Something about net worth.
Right. Your net worth
versus your total spending
power.
Spending power. That's it.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
Well, today we're going to talk about, brothers and sisters, are you an asset or a liability?
Ooh, that's going to be good.
Well, before getting into that, for those who may not know you, I can't imagine who that would be. But for those who may not know you, because Karin is no stranger to us here at the African Village or here at Black Liberation Webcasting Network. But Minister Stewart, tell us about who Karin Stewart is.
Okay. Well, I am a native of St. Louis, Missouri, and I am a PK, born and bred almost in the Church of God in Christ.
For those who don't know what PK is.
I am a preacher's kid.
There you go.
Yes, I'm a preacher's kid. I'm the second oldest of 8 children. Like I said, I lived in the church. And some people call themselves a pew baby. I don't know if I was a pew baby, but I was always at church, raised and bred there. I was educated at the University of Missouri-Columbia in Columbia, Missouri. I received a master's, Bachelor of Science in marketing there. And recently, about 5, almost 6 years ago now, I relocated to Dallas, Texas, where I am happy to be here. And I serve as a financial planner. I have been a financial planner now for almost 20 years, 19 years to be exact.
My goodness.
I can't believe it.
Oh.
Yeah. I was licensed in, I think, 2003. So yeah, that makes about 19 years. And I am the president and CEO of Capital Portfolios, LLC, where I go about teaching my people how to create, or all people, how to create capital portfolios. And we can get into more of that later. But I love what I do. I help people with retirement planning, making sure they have adequate asset protection around the assets that they have built up, such as life insurance, such as disability insurance, long-term care, you name it. And I really love what I do. I am so happy to say that I am walking in the lane or the power in which God gifted me to be in. And I'm just happy to do that today.
Now, you say walking in the lane wherein God gifted you. What makes you think that God gifted you in this lane?
Oh, look at you with these deep questions. Well, I think somewhere in the scripture, it talks about, what other people say. My friends told me, you need to be helping people with their money. And I'm thinking, really? And they were like, yeah. Originally when I went to school, I was going for accounting. And several people told me back then, no, accounting's not for you. And I was like, why not? I love numbers. And they were like, but with accounting, you're just in a room all by yourself, trying to make some books balance. And that's not you. Several of my friends say you're a people person. You have great interpersonal skills. You need to be out here teaching people how to make their money work for them. And I was thinking, why would you say that? It was like, because you're already doing it now for us, but you're doing it for free because we don't pay you. So anyway, I started thinking about that. And again, I've always loved numbers. I've always computed numbers in my head with ease. And people like me, and I like people, and I'm thinking, why not empower people in the area of finances, especially my people? And so, hence, I guess I would say I'm gifted in that area because that's what other people tell me. So I'm just kind of walking in that.
Well, you must be, because you've been doing this now full time for how many years?
19 years. I can't believe it.
19 years, and you're still successfully operating. So, hey.
Glory to
You
God.
know, I mean, it's almost back to the same principle. You know, your gift will make room for you.
Yes.
What
Bring
God
it.
has endowed you with will enable you to survive.
Yes.
You know, let me just kind of go back, because see, I remember when you were at American Family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you were a claims adjuster.
That's correct.
Right? What happened in your life to make you step out?
The transition.
And say, you know what? I'm tired of working for other folk. Let me work for myself.
Well, that's it. You said it. I got tired of claims adjusting. I got tired of the frustration. I was tired of adjusting these claims.
Okay.
Every day, every week, they were throwing more and more new claims on us, and we could never get caught up. And it was too much. And I remember I have this wonderful group of friends. They're still friends of mine. And we would go out to lunch once a week, maybe. And we would all sit around the table out of the restaurant and just complain about the job, complain about our supervisors, hating the work, just making ourselves sick. And how do you say it? With dis-ease at lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And finally I said, well, why don't we just leave? Why are we staying here? Why don't we stay at a place that we're not happy? And they kind of looked at me and everybody got quiet because they didn't know I had plans. I was trying to get up out of there. Okay. I had listened to the words of a sister that I work with at American Family, and she spoke in my spirit. I know her. Her name is Therese Varner. If you're listening today, I think she just recently got married. Thank you for allowing God to speak through you and to speak in my spirit, because she was the one, namely, that said, Karin, I think you'd be terrific as a financial advisor. Okay. I was thinking, nah, not me. She was like, why not? She was like, again, you are doing this already. And so she basically just shared with me, she knew another young lady who was doing it full time. And claims kept getting on my nerves. It was making me mad. And I started thinking, why don't I look into what it takes to get qualified, to be licensed, to do this? And so I started doing that. I hate to say it, sometimes even when I was at work, I was looking into studying, finding out what classes do I need, what courses, studying. And I was like, I'm out of here. I can't do claims anymore. I can't. Okay. I never really thought I would work for myself, though, growing up. Never, ever. I always thought I'd work for somebody else. But again, God had other plans. And it has freed me up to do a whole lot of other things, too. But I'm happy being an entrepreneur, especially in the area of managing people's finances. I'm delighted. So again, it was that sister who really spoke in my spirit and said, girl, this ain't you. You need to leave this alone. It's almost like she was saying, this claim to Justin is beneath you. You need to go on to something different. Okay. So I'm happy. Thank you. Thank you, Therese.
Outstanding. Now, you know, I just, brothers and sisters you guys out there watching today, just allow us to flow if you don't mind, because I like for this time with you guys on Sunday mornings or Sunday afternoons, wherever you are, to be a time of ministering to your needs, not just giving information out, okay, but to give out information that will be transforming. That's okay. Right. And as we begin to talk about, you felt the need, it was time for you to just step away. Get out on your own. In my spirit, I could sense that there are people who were listening to you at that very moment, and that kind of like hit them upside the head.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're feeling the same way.
All right.
They're feeling the same way. You know what? I've been needing this word today from this sister to encourage me to take that step. Okay, and step away and do my own thing. It's not as easy as it sounds.
I was about to say that. Let me tell you, it's not as easy as it sounds. clouds.
Okay.
There's going to be some dark days, some unsure days. You're going to ask yourself, why did you do this?
Yeah.
But I will say this, it is very rewarding. But another thing, if you don't do it, that feeling is never going to go away.
That's right.
It's going to keep at you year after year. You're going to remain unhappy in the place that you're in now because the creator is calling you to something higher. Yeah. And that is not going away. So start today.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's not going away.
You know, and a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that means you have to necessarily just walk away from your source of income.
No, don't do that tomorrow. I don't mean that way.
Because in fact, your cousin, Ken Brown, when he came to the African village and did a workshop for us, he mentioned something about those of you who are unhappy with your job.
Yes, he did.
Don't see it as a job. See it as a paid internship.
That's what he called it. Yes.
That's what he called it, right?
That's what he called it.
In other words, while you are working at where you are, okay, be learning what you need to learn.
Yes.
Okay, so you can do it on your own.
Come on now.
Okay, while getting paid from somebody else. So get paid, you know. And you were just saying, even while you were at American Family, you would do your research on what you needed to do
to become a financial planner, to get into
planner.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I was doing that. Yeah.
Today's subject is a very important one. And I really want us to focus on this subject because people need to know if they are. And brothers and sisters, let me share this with y'all before we go any further. Some of you guys may be a little offended, okay, by what we say or what I'm gonna say today. I'm not gonna put it on Minister Stewart. What I'm gonna say today, okay? I don't mean to offend you. I mean to make you take a good look at yourself. All right. When the question is asked, are you an asset or are you a liability? Okay. I preface what I'm saying now with what I just said because everybody thinks they're an asset.
Say that. Yes, they do.
Everybody thinks they're an asset. Okay. And I've had to painfully let people know in the past, you are not an asset. You are a liability.
Whoa.
Okay. And now, for example, even people who have come into the ministry, you know, I've had to let them know we're not here, okay, to financially support you. The ministry needs financial support.
All right. Yeah.
You follow me? And as I think you might have said it, or I might have said it, if you're not in the position to help yourself financially.
Yes.
Okay, you're not in the position to help anybody.
Can't help the group.
You can't help the group if you can't help the group. Yourself.
You can't help yourself.
Okay. And I want us to come to grips with that.
Yes.
Because and I'm not saying something to you that you haven't heard me say, but the audience, many of them have not heard me say what I'm getting ready to say. I am fed up with, I'm sick and tired of a cheap spirit.
Yes.
Among our people.
Yes.
Okay. And when I say cheap spirit, I don't mean a demon, brothers and sisters. But when I say a spirit, I'm speaking now as a psychologist. Okay. A spirit means a psychological disposition that a person carries. Okay. And there are too many of us who think on a poverty level.
Yes.
But you're not poverty stricken.
All right.
Okay, you think on a poverty level, so therefore you live on a poverty level.
Yes, yes.
You know what? I'm doing all this talking. I need to be letting you do the talking. You are the teacher, but I got a whole. I'm sorry, I just went there. Go
you always lead me in. I don't know where we're going with this, but you're on.
I don't either. That's the thing.
You talked about a lot. The cheap mentality.
Yeah.
It's time. We're living in a time now.
We got to get out of this thing of saying I'm broke.
We got to get out of it.
We got to stop it. Just stop it.
Yeah. With the current economic conditions that we're under, we've been under for some years now, but really with the pandemic coming up on us in 2020, that should have changed the paradigm of a lot of people's mindsets. We realized that now, we had all these choices to make, whether I'm going to keep my job or they're going to keep me based on decisions I make about my health. And so our income has been impacted. Some people lost their jobs. They were at home for many weeks because they were in service industries and they didn't have anything to fall on. They didn't have an emergency fund. They didn't have anything stashed away at home. They didn't have anything in the bank. They didn't have anything invested. So all of these things occurring should have changed your mindset about how you had been living your previous life and how you thought about finances. Like you said, maybe I know from this pandemic, a lot of businesses were birthed. People got home, had time to themselves. They began to get quiet and meditate. And they were like you said, what I've been doing for Mr. So-and-so over here, I can now turn it into something that belongs to me. It's my business. Or you started doing something that had nothing to do with what you were doing as you were making your money. And so we're just living in a time where that shift has to occur. You have to have a paradigm shift now in your thinking regarding your economics, your finances. And as our show talks about today, are you an asset or a liability? Today, nobody really wants to carry liabilities anymore. We're looking for people to stand on their own 2 feet. I mean, perhaps we need to define what an asset and a liability is.
You read my mind. I was just getting ready to say,
yes.
For those folk out there who think that they are an asset, but in reality they are a liability, let's give some definition here.
Okay. Well, when we think about assets, we think about resources. So an asset is a resource that's owned by a person that has value. And another part of a resource or an asset is it has value, but it's also available to meet the needs of debts or commitments.
Let's go back and do this now. An asset, let's repeat that. An asset is what?
A resource.
A resource.
Owned by a person, yes. And it has value. So think about what you own. Does it have value?
And it has value.
And it's available to meet debts or commitments.
Okay.
So, an asset can be your possessions, your holdings, your belongings, your goods, your estate, your valuables, your effects. What do you own that has value? And that should make some of us sit and think, what do I really own?
So if a person is listening right now and they have to come to grips, the question you just asked is the key. What do I really own?
That increases in value. That has increased in value over time.
Okay, let's spend some time right there.
Okay.
And I want the audience to challenge yourselves. Okay, as you're watching this, ask yourself, what do I own? What assets do I have? Am I an asset? Okay, let's break that down, because if you are not an asset, then perhaps you need to stop trying to act like you are.
Right. Well, I guess you define yourself as an asset by, first of all, how you process, how you think.
Okay.
The greatest asset that we have is this mind, this dome. That's the greatest asset.
Okay.
And so that's the first part of it. So we have this great mind God has given us. And then the next question is, what are you doing with it? How are you turning it into something that is of value to you? How does your mind make money or increase other people in value and increase yourself and your family? What are you doing? Do you keep your thoughts to yourself, or are you expanding people's lives, expanding consciousness, changing lives. What are you doing with that asset first? And depending on how you think and how you process, it'll determine everything. How you purchase, what you purchase.
Okay.
How you select.
Because you're what you're saying now really determines a person's value system.
That's right. That's right. Even how you select what you decide to eat and put in your body.
Okay.
Because if you value this body as a great commodity that it needs to stay empowered and keep doing what you've been called to do, you'll put the right things into your body.
Yes.
And so, it determines, what you purchase. Are you buying liability after liability? Meaning, are you buying cars? Great, beautiful cars all the time that depreciate in value as soon as you drive them off the lot.
Wait a minute. Whoa. You mean to tell me a car is a liability or can be a liability?
It's classified as a liability.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though it's needed.
We need a mode of transportation, but the question becomes, what type of mode have you chosen to purchase? How have you chosen to spend your money to get from point A to point B?
Okay, so for example, okay, so that everybody can follow us clearly, a person who is making maybe $45,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe if they bought a Ford Escort,
mm-hmm.
that's not so much a liability.
I guess if they're still making
as much as a person making the same amount wanting to buy a Mercedes Benz.
Right. Unless they're a trust baby. Maybe they got some other money coming in. But if that 45,000 is all you have, and you are a responsible adult, you live on your own, you're paying rent or mortgage somewhere, and most people have families and you've got all these other liabilities, sometimes it's hard to make sense out of buying that expensive luxury car that you can barely afford. And I'm not against luxury cars. Hear me well. But live on the level.
I know you're not.
Just, we just have to.
But listen, you deserve to, especially you. I mean, come on. As hard as you have worked, you deserve to ride in whatever you want to ride in.
Well, thank you. But, even with that, I remember when I went to go purchase the car that I have, I don't know if I want to share this story. I'll be honest. I went to the Lexus dealership here in Dallas, and I had known for a while I needed a new car. I didn't just go buy one because I wanted one. I needed one. I had my last car. Hear this, people. I had my last car. I think it was 11 years. 11 or 12 years. So I had already paid for it many years before, but it had run down. So it was time to get a new one. And I guess I thought I was going to buy a new Lexus. And I went and looked on the lot and looked at those prices. And I was like, I went to the salesman walked up to me and he said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yes. Do you have a pre-owned list?" And I looked at the pre-owned cars because I knew my budget, and we all should have a budget. And the pre-owned Lexus that I have works just fine. The brand new one, yeah. So I'm just being honest, even with myself.
Well, the car you got is nice now. Don't get me. Hey, listen.
Well, thank you. But again, it was pre-owned. Some of us think, I know people who say, I only buy brand new cars. That's all I buy.
Okay.
And, and then as soon as they pay them off, they go out and buy another one. So they stay in debt with $400 to $700 on a car note all of their lives.
Yes.
And so, again, that is a mentality. Sometimes we call it, I think I did a message on it, poverty, leave it or not. Having a brand new car all the time is a poverty.
Leave it or love it. That was your subject.
Leave it or love it. Thank you so much for talking to you.
Poverty, leave it or love it. I remember that message.
Yes. So sometimes we have these mentalities that we've developed, these habits that we've picked up from family or friends or what have you. And we think we have to keep living up to these habits and mentalities. And they're self-sabotaging us. They're self-destructive, and they are keeping us from our wealth power. That's exactly what they're doing. They're keeping us from our wealth power.
From our wealth power.
Mm-hmm.
Not our willpower, our wealth power.
Thank you. Yes, for breaking it down. Wealth power.
WEALTH, our
Mm-hmm.
wealth power. Wow. You know, it grieves me that so many of our people are liabilities. Just last week, I was talking with a friend of mine who's a pastor, and he was telling me, he said, Doc, I'm so tired of our people, Doc. We trying to keep raising money to try to bury our folk. And Doc, I'm tired of it.
Yes.
When are we gonna learn?
Yes. Yes.
You know, and I told him you and I had just had this discussion a couple of weeks ago in our show of how so many of us just don't do what we need to do.
Right.
To make our lives not be a burden.
Right.
Not only on ourselves, but on others as well.
It's a selfish mentality. It's very selfish to not care what's going to happen to you in your body, in your family, once you leave this earth. That's very selfish. And it's time to abandon that way.
But it's ironic you say that, because I hear that a lot especially from a lot of men. I hear that from the male mind more so.
And you hear what exactly?
Man, listen, shoot, hey, when I'm gone, man, listen, they can do whatever they want to do with it, whatever.
I hear that exact same sentiment all the time.
That kind of thing, man.
And it's selfish.
Yeah, folk feel like they don't have that much to offer. They don't have that much to give. So, but that doesn't mean that they cannot position themselves. Does that make sense?
Position yourselves to power for wealth.
Yeah.
To prepare. Yeah. You got to do it. And I think the thing is, we're afraid to take the time out. Take the time out and talk to somebody. It's really bad to walk around with a mindset or a mentality of thinking you are all you need. You got all the answers. I can figure this out. I don't need an expert in this area or that area. I'm telling you, it's a lot of things
we can't help but think like that, though. I shouldn't say we can't help but think like that, but just look at it. We live in a culture that promotes or advocates self-sufficiency.
Nowadays, yeah.
You follow me? Handle your own problems. If you have.
But isn't that a recent mentality, Dr. Ray?
Yes.
I mean,
I would say yes.
Yes.
I would say yes within the last 100 years or so.
I'd say even more recent than that. I'd say that the younger people today, have developed this mentality that I don't need to ask any questions. I can figure this out on my own.
Okay. Yeah.
And hence they don't even communicate anymore verbally.
I see that.
They text, they research, they figure the internet has all the answers.
Yeah.
And so that creates this mentality. I don't need anybody else. I have a smartphone. I have a computer, and I can figure everything out on my own. Well, finances sometimes is not all that easy to figure out on your own. Many people today, like I said last week, are left with fortifying and setting up their own retirement planning. Meaning, just because you work on a job 20 years, that idea and concept of somebody setting up a pension for you is gone. That has become a dinosaur. So now they've handed you a 401k with this diverse list of investment options attached to it. And you have to go in and create a portfolio that's going to set you up for 20 years down the road. Are you equipped to know how to do that?
Or, I mean, you think about now, I don't want to bust nobody's bubble here, but think about the people who are depending on that.
Yes.
Who have worked all these years on a job thinking, well, y'all, you listen, next November, I'll be able to retire, and then the job lays them off.
Right.
Just to keep from giving them a pension.
Right.
Am I correct on that? I'm assuming, because I haven't experienced that, but I'm thinking of people who have.
Right.
When it was about time to collect.
Been cut off from, number of years that are needed to collect that money. Yes, that is a concept that has happened to a lot of people.
Yes.
But another thing, since you're talking about pensions and people retiring within a year, I've seen this a lot since I've been in the industry. I see people doing just that. Within a year or 6 months from their date of retirement, they start thinking about their retirement for the first time. They start saying, okay, maybe it's time for me to get a financial advisor. Maybe I should find a financial planner. And I hate to say it, people, but many of my clients will testify. They have found that many times has been almost too late. Most of my clients that came to me as retirees, they all say this, baby, where were you 15 years ago?
Okay.
Where were you 10 years ago? Because I could have really used your help. And some people say 20 years ago, because what we don't realize is that in retirement, we want to have as many streams of income coming to us as possible.
Right.
And so you have to start creating those streams of income early, way before you retire. Pre-retirement, you got to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 5 years before, at least. I'd say 10 and 15 and 20. But don't think, I retire next year. I think I'm ready. I hope I'm ready. Find out. Start asking questions. Find a financial planner 5, 6, 7 years before that date even arrives. Because this is what a financial planner is going to help you do. They're going to help give you options. They're going to give you options. Let
me add to that. Let me say a righteous financial planner.
Oh, okay.
Okay. A trustworthy financial planner.
Thank you.
Let me add to those things, okay? Because there are some people out there. There are some people out there who do what they do for their benefit. Then there are people out there who do what they do to benefit others.
Yes.
You follow me? And y'all, I can say this. I know Minister Stewart is not going to say it because she's not going to promote herself like that. But this sister that we're talking to went into business. Of course, she has to pay her bill. She has to live her life. But she went into business to help our people. Y'all hear me? She went into business to literally help our people. Now, I don't know who your clientele is, even though I may know who some of your clients are. I don't know who your clientele is in particular, but I would venture to say, and let me ask the question, what nationality are most of your clients?
Most of my clients are African Americans, Black people, my people, most of them.
That's exactly what I thought. Yeah.
And that's the reason I created Capital Portfolios. I really felt like God gave to me, teach your people how to create a portfolio, or attaché, as a portfolio used to be called, a suitcase of assets. Teach them how to create an account here that's going to do this for them, be there for opportunities or emergencies. Teach them how to set up a tax-free account, a IRA that is going to be taxable, retirement account. Teach them how to create capital, asset, wealth-filled cases, portfolios. Teach. And so that's what I've been trying.
We don't just know this coming out of the mother's womb.
No.
And unfortunately, our churches are not preparing us for this.
They're not promoting financial preparedness. And hence, we're failing.
Yes.
We're failing all over the place. We don't want to get into the whole church thing of, them beating over your head. You just have to pay your tithes. I don't care what else happens to you. You need to teach people how to set their money up so that it does work for them. Hence, work your money. Learn how to work your money. I'm yet surprised, Dr. Hagins. I've been doing this for a while now, at the number of people who still think they are going to work their bodies for the rest of their lives to live. They know nothing about working their money, meaning while you're at rest, while you're asleep, your money is working for you well into the future. And all they know is, well, I'm going to create this new job or gig and I'm going to work, and your body is going to wear out at some point. Your mind is going to need a rest at some point. So therefore, you need to create streams and pools of income or money now that's going to turn into income for you later. So your money is always at work.
Well, again, we're not taught.
No.
We're not taught, and you say we don't want to talk so much about the church, but unfortunately, the church is the entity that takes up the majority of Black people's time.
Where most of us spend a lot of our time. And so therefore, you and I have had these conversations many times. We need to have far more, schools of teaching, not just talking about the Bible.
Workshops and seminars and
talking about the whole body. Yes.
Understanding this.
Yes.
If we're not taught to value these things, we don't value them.
Hence, we're in the predicament we're in.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that and look at the definition of a liability. So we see a lot of people as liabilities because of how they see themselves, what they purchase. And basically, a liability is any financial responsibility you have or any financial obligation you carry. And once we become an adult, we're going to have some liabilities. They come along with life. And we got to start teaching our children that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say we're going to flow. But as you were saying that just now, I thought about a couple that I did, premarital counseling couple. And one of the problems that I foresaw in their relationship was the fact that the sister would be a liability in the relationship. Usually it's the other way around, especially in this day and time.
Right.
Okay. Because we live in a society that is strategically designed for our Black males to fail.
Yes.
But in this case, it was the brother was quite successful.
Mm-hmm.
It was the sister who didn't have anything to offer. Wow. I don't know if you can imagine how challenging that is for a relationship counselor to have to say to the couple, you guys, I don't see y'all making it. Okay, because there is not what we call an economic balance.
Oh, wow.
Here in this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And brothers and sisters, hear me when I tell you this. Y'all may not believe this, okay? And this is to those of you out there who are love struck right now. Okay? There's a thing called, when I do a workshop, I do a workshop on relationships. And one of the things that I teach on is called the romantic fallacy stage. The romantic fallacy stage is when y'all think y'all can conquer anything. Okay? You're not thinking realistically. Right? Once you come through that romantic fallacy stage and reality hits you in the behind, then y'all gonna wish that y'all were more sober. Okay? When you thought about your assets together. Okay. This sister had nothing to bring to the table. She had nothing to offer the relationship.
You know, Dr. Hagins, I thought back in the day, way back in the day, that a lot of male minds may have appreciated that or liked that or wanted that from a woman, for him to be able to come in and rescue her, be the hero to this woman. But I see, if that's what I used to think, that mindset has changed.
Why?
Today, men and women are coming saying, what do you bring to the table?
Oh,
the man wants to know,
right.
Does the woman have a mind of her own? Can she keep herself busy? What have you accumulated on earth since you've been here? Am I going to have to satisfy and meet all of your needs for all of your clothing, your nails, your hair, pay the bills, the mortgage, the food, and you just sit around and look pretty? I mean, today it's both ways. And, you know, women, we want to know, from the males, what do you bring to the table? Now men are like, what are you bringing? What do you have?
Yeah.
And so,
well, in fact, we don't want to know if you just have a table. I mean, can you bring anything to the table? We want to know if you have a table.
That's right. That's what I asked. Do you own some tables, brother? You got a couple tables.
What assets do you have?
That's right.
See, it's real simple. You know, it's easy to walk. I don't know why I'm going in this direction, but okay, it's easy to, and I guess because there's somebody out there may need this. It's easy to walk into someone else's assets and enjoy what they've accomplished or what they've acquired. Okay, and act like it's yours.
All right.
Okay. But what do you offer?
Right.
Okay. Right. And in order for relationships to be healthy today, brothers and sisters, there has to be a balance. There has to be what's called an even avenue of exchange. Okay. I don't know why I'm going here, man. Wow. There has to be an even avenue of exchange.
You're ministering today. Yeah.
You know, in life.
Yes.
In life, you know, for example, if you're working with someone, right? Okay. They may be the principal of the company. Now, of course, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to our audience now. They may be the principal owner of the company that you're working with. Okay. They may have invested a whole lot more into the business than you have.
Right.
So how do you help if you're going to be a partner? How do you do your part? How do you carry your weight? That's it right there. Because see, a lot of our folk don't believe in carrying their weight.
Right. And maybe you are not the financial asset, but maybe you're the brains behind the whole thing.
Exactly.
You got to bring something.
Exactly. You know,
maybe you run or manage the business behind the scenes. And without you, you're a key person. That other person wouldn't make it who brought the finances.
Yes, exactly.
It's got to work out. It's got to, you say, be some kind of even exchange.
You may not be the principal financial backer to the business, but like you said, you may have experience that will benefit the business. You know, you may have
relationships,
a skill set or something.
Yes.
Yeah. You know. Yeah.
Yes. And
you got to bring something.
Yeah.
You know,
got to have something.
That's called an even field of exchange.
Okay. All right.
You know, if I remember I had a brother who used to rent space from our place, right? And when he first started, I think he thought that, well, this is Brother Hagins. He's about helping the community. Okay. So I don't need to help him out with the rent. You follow what I'm saying? Because Brother Hagins is about helping the community. Well, brother, I can only help the community because the community is continuing to help.
Right. Exactly.
Let's help the community.
Right.
You follow me? And I had to say to the brother, yo, man, you're using the facility, but these lights and everything got to be paid for, dude.
And it's a shame you have to remind people of that.
It is a shame.
It really is a shame.
What?
It really is.
Yeah.
It is.
And I felt I was embarrassed that I had to say that to the brother.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and then he said, "Oh man," and then he's the one who told me about the even field of exchange.
Oh wow.
I said, damn, man, you know.
Maybe he thought he had empowered you enough, and that was it.
Wow. Okay.
That is
You know,
interesting.
there's got to be a field. We got to have an even exchange here, man.
Mm-hmm. Got to.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to use the facilities, then help pay for the facilities. Real
Mm-hmm.
simple.
Real simple. Real
You
simple.
know.
Yeah.
So how does a person increase their assets?
Their assets or their financial position.
Because most of our folk will tell you, "Well, child, I ain't got no money. I don't know how. I don't know how. I hear what you're saying and it sound good, but I don't know how I'm gonna make that happen."
That mentality is gonna keep you right there. It's gonna keep you right there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you have what you say. You know, you keep saying that. That's what you keep getting. That's what you keep returning. So our words are power. Our thoughts are power. We got to change our mentality. Sometimes you have to change company. Change the people you hang around. You got to move away from. They always talking about they broke. We can't afford. I wish we could go here. I wish we could do this. Why can't we? Okay. Maybe you're holding us back or me back. We need to get away from you.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you.
Got to think about that one for a moment.
Right.
Yeah. It's you've gotta change your mentality when it comes to economics.
Yes.
Economic empowerment is so important. So I challenge everybody listening to us today. If you don't have a person that you can work with that is a qualified licensed financial planner, go and find somebody. You know, if you need to talk to me, call me. I was surprised this past week by the number of calls that I've gotten, and people were like, "I'm ready today, Minister Stewart. Come on, set my account up."
That's why we're doing this show again.
Yes, they're like, "I've wasted 50 years, 58 years, 60. I'm ready to do something with my money today."
Yes.
And I wish we understood the power of economics, the power of money. Even the scripture tells us money answereth all things.
It sure says it.
The
Bible does say that.
It said answereth all things.
It says money answereth all. You know what?
I think before that, it talks about the feast brings laughter. Wine brings merriment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it ends by saying money answereth all things. I want to add something to that, if I may. It's not scripture, but I have learned that money positioned in the right places surely answereth all things.
That's Ecclesiastes 10:19, brothers and sisters.
10:19. Yep. All right. Yeah.
Money answereth all things.
That's right. And with that mentality, some people say, "Well, I got money. I don't need help. I got money." Well, let me tell you what having that mentality alone does for you. When you think you don't need help, you find out later down the road, because you didn't have your money positioned in the right places, it is not going to do what you wanted it to do for you, the way you wanted it to do it.
Okay.
You're going to end up paying far more for the plan or the thing that you need down the road. You're going to have all kinds of taxes you could have mitigated. You're going to have expenses and fees because you would not sit down and create a plan. A plan is very important, such as a person who may need long-term care down the road. Mm-hmm. If you set up a plan way in advance before you need that care, you're going to have better options of the places that you can choose from, the types of care that you can receive, the amount of money that's going to be spent for the care. If you wait till the last minute because you think I'm a millionaire and I'll just spend it when I need it, put it in that place, you're going to pay far more in the expenses. It's going to be way more expensive. If you think, well, I don't want to pay for a life insurance plan for my child because they're grown or that's their responsibility, fine, pay then. But you're going to be scrambling or pulling your $10, $12, $15, $20,000 out of a savings account just to bury them when you could have bought a policy that could have cost you as a client of mine said to me this week, I was sharing with her how a policy for her son, 16 or 17 years old, I think it was a $50,000 whole life, was like $365 a year.
What?
Right. And what she said to me, she said, "Oh,
whoa,
wow.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you serious?"
Yeah, it was like 50,000. And this is what she said. I want to say
a year?
She said, so, oh, Karen, that's like $1 a day. And I said, girl, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that. $1 a day. You can insure most of the time the average 16 or 17-year-old male for $1 a day with a $50,000 policy. $365.
Wow.
So, in the event something happens to your child prematurely, they die before you, not only do you have burial expense money, but there's something left over for you to do something with. Set up a memorial, set up something to invest for the other children left behind. What have you? You now have financial options because you sat down with somebody in advance and created a plan.
And we don't like to talk about death and dying. We just don't.
We don't like to talk about anything regarding our money. We don't want to set up financial.
We really don't. We really don't.
Don't mess with my money, girl. Don't talk to me about my money.
It's really tragic because, and I'm sure you can. I mean, you part of the village. We've had young people.
Mm-hmm.
You don't expect young people to die. You just, I'm talking in their 20s, young people. 20,
I just experienced
23, 24, 25, 26. We don't expect them to die at that age. Okay.
Don't make me cry today, Dr. Ray.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot. That's right. This is the anniversary.
So we're going to keep moving. Yeah, let's move on past that. Yeah. I know all about that.
That's
don't
right.
expect that.
At any rate, the audience is going to want to know now because Karin said it. But y'all, this is, I don't know if you guys out there remember, a year ago, Minister Stewart's niece met with an untimely death, and that was a year ago.
Yeah.
So they're having a memorial today there. Wish I was there with you to fly into Dallas to help you do that. I'll be praying for you.
Thank you. Yeah, we know all about that. So yes.
Yeah. And the point I was making is how we don't expect our young people, to die. We just expect people to die when they get old. Right. And because we don't expect our youth to die, meet with an untimely death or a car accident or anything. I'm so grateful again that my grandson did not lose his life, even though he broke his neck in his car accident. But we don't think on those lines of our youth passing away at such an early age, and then we're not prepared for it.
We're not prepared. So we've got to do it. We've got to get plans in place in all aspects. Yes.
But even having an insurance policy, doesn't that increase one's assets?
Yes. So again, are you an asset or a liability? What do you own that increases in value? When you buy a permanent life insurance policy.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Before I break that, let me do that right there. Let me grab that right there. Let me grab that so we can have that definition clear in our head. Because you just said, what do you own that increases in value?
Yes.
That's the question.
What do you own? What are you spending your dollars on that increases?
You own that increases in value? That's your asset.
Yeah, that's your asset.
Okay.
So how are you spending those dollars?
If what you own does not increase in value, would it be safe to say it's not an asset?
Yes, that is exactly true. That's a liability. It's not increasing in value.
Okay.
So again, you're right. Owning a permanent life insurance policy serves as an asset for you. Down the road, that policy is creating cash for you, creating equity for you, such as owning a home. When you buy a home and you're paying a mortgage, you are creating equity over time. And so many times we will parallel or equate buying whole life insurance or permanent insurance to buying a home. And I'm always so quick to use the word whole life, but there are many different types of permanent insurance policies. There's universal life policies, there's index universal life policies. Call me if you want to know the difference in how they work. But it's important that you are buying things that are going to increase in value for you. They are assets. So that's important.
Well, now, it's not really take a lot of time to give the definition of each of those different kind of policies, does it?
No, it doesn't. Basically, a universal life policy works where it is paying a fixed amount of money attached to your policy. It's a low interest rate accruing policy, very low interest rate. The index IUL policy, index universal life, has money that is attached to your policy, but it's based on the performance of the S&P, the stock market. Okay. So it's going to accrue and maybe attach a little bit more money to your policy, and you can set them up in all kind of fancy ways. You might want to only pay into it 10 years, 15 years, and put a lot more money in it and pull the money out tax-free. And that's the beauty of funding these permanent policies. Down the road, you can pull the money out tax-free. And you really can't do that with any other investment vehicle other than a Roth IRA. So those are the two vehicles where you can put money aside, pull it back out tax-free down the road once you've met those set of rules that they have.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What's the different definition of? Well, you just told us what a universal life was.
I defined the universal and the index. The money that comes from that is attached to the policy with the index, it comes from the stock market. So you get a portion of what the policy is earning, and that goes into your cash reserves. And then I talk more about the whole life. That's more or less the Cadillac of all of them. It is probably the more expensive one. It is a sure contract. Sometimes with those IULs, the amount of money you have to put in there may differentiate. It may alter down the road. You may get a letter from the insurance company saying you were underfunding it, and now you have to put more money in there to keep it afloat.
Okay.
So that's one of the caveats of owning perhaps an IUL and you're not funding it properly. With a whole life, it is what it is. If it says it's $116 a month, it's $116 a month forever. It's not going to change. Your death benefit is not going to go down. Your premium is never going to go up. And you can set it up where, again, you pay for it X amount of years. You may pay into it 18 years, and then it pays for itself after that. But all of these vehicles are accruing some type of cash for you. It almost reminds me of the parable in the Bible when the master went away and left the three servants with the talents.
Right, with the talents, right?
Yes. And what is it? The 5, 3, and 1. The 5, he went and did something with it. Mm-hmm. He doubled it. The one with the 3, I believe he doubled his too. And the one with the 1, there's that fear tactic. I want to talk about fear.
He buried his.
Buried it.
Right.
He buried it. Let's talk about fear.
And in fact, I'm gonna say it just because I can say it. I don't want you to get in trouble. But burying the talent is equivalent to putting your money in a savings account.
Yeah, you could just leave it in the bank. Well, you know what?
Because it's not doing anything.
It's not doing anything. So that's equivalent today. But I think even in the scripture back then, he was saying you could have at least taken it to the banks for, was it usury, and gotten something. You could have gotten something, right. Even if it's 2 cents. He hid it. Some of us hide our money in mattresses. We hide it in our house.
That's what I said buried. He hid it. Right. He hid it.
He hid it.
Right.
Today, the more savvier way to make money, you need to put it in the hands of a financial planner. Buy something, mutual fund, ETF, stocks, bonds. Do something where it's returning equity or something for you. So
let's once again talk about this thing that you and I came up with in a discussion one day. Mm-hmm. And the acronym is a PIA for it. Okay. And we were saying how it would help so many people.
Yes.
Okay. To just start a PIA.
Yes. And that is a personal investment account.
Okay.
That is investing for reasons other than retirement. So there's really only two reasons in the world to invest, people, two. And that is for retirement, and the other one is opportunities. And so the personal investment account falls up under the opportunities or emergencies,
Okay.
however you want to use it. But it doesn't fall up under the retirement rules. So yes, we came up with the acronym PIA. Take discretionary income, take that extra money, and instead of you saving it at the bank, put it in the hands of your financial advisor. Let them help you purchase, like I said, I don't know what level you're starting on, mutual funds or stocks. And that gets it out of your hand and gives it an opportunity to perform. I have to use the word perform. Okay. Because when we have access to it all the time, the tendency is we're going to be pulling it more often than what we thought we were.
I'm going to do something right now. I don't normally do this. And you guys out there, when I do this, you're going to say, that's kind of strange for Brother Ray. He don't usually do stuff like that. But I got to follow my spirit. Okay? And that is this. For those of you out there who believe in tithing, may I ask you to start a PIA by tithing to yourself.
All right. That'll preach. That's going to help you in a lot of ways down the road.
I mean, really.
We talk about rescuing yourself. You know,
that's how I see it happening there, you know. And I say that because I don't know if you remember
the sister at the village, or
yes, Sister at the Village, Stephanie's mother.
Barnes,
yes, Sister Barnes. And she had gotten laid off from her job. And she came, I forgot that I had actually even taught them this, but I said that I taught the brothers of the village to tithe to yourself, not so much to the village.
Right.
And she said that because she had started tithing to herself, when she got laid off, she was able to make it through the entire layoff period.
That's all right.
Without any stress, because she tithed to herself.
And she heard it from her pastor. Put something away for yourself.
Exactly.
Yourself first.
Tithe to yourself. Yes. Pay yourself first.
That'll preach. That'll preach.
I've always believed in that. As an entrepreneur, pay yourself first.
And you'd be surprised how many Christian saints, whatever we want to call them, believe that if they just pay their tithes, they can do whatever they want with the rest of the money, and God is going to bless them. He's going to rescue them and save them. I mean, they faithfully give their tithes, because that's really the proper term. You give your tithing, and then you spend every other dime. That doesn't make sense either.
Makes no sense.
You know, and I'm not against blessing the house of God where you get blessed. I'm okay, you know. So I'm real careful, and I'm some kind of way when people talk about, you know, people of God who are doing right. You know, there's righteous pastors out here. And I believe if they are changing and touching your lives, like so many of you all say the African village have totally changed your life, then why wouldn't you give back to this entity? Why wouldn't you? So I'm all for that. But the next thing you should be doing is paying yourself. You know, don't think because you give to the church, you can come back to it when the next calamity hits you and say, can I get all my tithing back? You got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So tithe to yourself is an awesome principle. I like that.
Do you remember when there was a time, we've been through so much in the village. There was a time when a group of people called themselves financially boycotting the village.
I remember that. I can't believe you brought it up.
They didn't like a decision that I made about something.
I remember that.
And so this particular Sunday, they spread the word around. Everybody give $1.
I remember that.
Remember that?
I remember.
of course, my mentality was, if all you can afford to give is $1, then you need to keep it.
Right, exactly.
So what we did, we just gave everybody their $1 back.
You gave it right back because they were careful enough to put it in an envelope with their names on it.
Sure
so
was.
That made it very easy for us to just give it back to you because you're trying to be funny.
Exactly.
And we can see straight through that.
And my mindset was, hey, if that's all you can do, if this is all you can do, then you need it more than we need it.
Exactly.
So, hey, yeah.
We got to grow past all of these antics and these childish mindsets.
Oh, yeah.
Grow up. I think about that poem. I want to talk about fear for a minute. Remember the poem somebody came up with called Our Deepest Fear?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You have it?
Yeah, I have it. It basically just says our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate.
All right.
Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
Beyond measure.
It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God.
Mm-hmm.
Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you.
Oh, yes.
That'll preach.
Yes, it will.
We are all meant to shine. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Wow. Yep.
So I'm saying to people, shine.
That's right.
Start economically empowering yourself. You're going to empower your group. You know, your group is going to be like, something's different about you. What are you doing? And you're like, you're not spending and going out with us like you used to. Girl, I'm trying to economically empower myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that is contagious.
Yes, it is.
That is very contagious when the group starts going up. Empower up, people.
You know what's contagious, and maybe contagious not the right. Yeah, contagious is the right word, because when you are positioned correctly, economically, like the text says, money answers all things. It literally reduces your stress level.
Woohoo! Say that.
Okay.
Say that.
You are more at peace.
Yes, you are.
Because you're able to pay your bills. Okay, yes. Which means you reduce stress. Reduce stress, you don't gain as much weight.
Yes.
You reduce the propensity of a heart attack even more. All this stuff is connected here.
Yeah. It's a part of our soul.
Yes.
It's a part of our soul being financially independent. It really is. It, like you said, reduces stress level. Wow. You're at peace with yourself, with others. It's what we ought to be. It's what we're supposed to be. And I didn't mean to cut you off. I did that.
No. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. So it's a part of our intellectual energy. It's a part of our emotional energy and our will. I believe all of us want to be economically empowered. We want to increase our finances. We want to know, where should I be putting my money? You can't live on this earth 40 and 45 years and be satisfied with having nothing if you have nothing.
Well, that depends now. That depends. Some people are quite satisfied.
Well, I guess if they come from nothing and everybody around them has nothing.
Living with nothing. You know why? Because they're living, they're parasites.
They're liabilities.
They're leeches. They're liabilities, right? They're fine with having nothing because mama got it.
Exactly. They're attached to an asset.
They're fine with having nothing because their girlfriend got it. Or their boyfriend got it.
Okay.
You know, it's that song, Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child and got his own.
Yes.
We don't sing that song that much.
No, we don't.
we used to hear that song a lot, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
you don't hear that song too much now. Okay,
No,
because
we don't.
people are so busy, draining others. And the thing that makes it so bad, we sit back and let them drain us.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Yeah. That's some of that self-sabotaging behavior we need to stop.
How are you helping the community by not putting your foot down?
Yeah. Learning to say no
in your family, right?
Learning to say no.
You got to know how to say no.
I know all about that. Learning to say no. Can't help you. You got to help yourself.
Somebody saying, "Oh, they talking to me right now. They're talking to me now. Ooh, they talking to me now."
We gotta cause people to grow up, cause them to mature.
Yes.
Cause them to matriculate and go to the next level.
Yes.
And that hurts. I heard somebody re-emphasizing the other day about growing pains. Growth hurts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't feel good all the time when you're first putting it in practice. But you gotta teach people, those that are younger than you, those that have served as leeches on you, you gotta teach them. It's time for you to grow. It's time for me to grow. That's what it is. It's really time for me to grow because you holding me back from growing. And so here we are. Asset or liability. It's up to you.
I'm thinking, I don't want to put my personal business out there, but you were telling me the other day, I think I mentioned this last week.
Okay.
About being at the African village was not in the position to put aside a retirement account for me. Instead, what I decided to do was take out insurance on my daughter, knowing that the money would, or the policy would,
it's going to accrue cash.
Because it's
permanent. Yeah, permanent policy.
Okay. And when you told me the other day about how much cash had accrued,
quite a bit.
Even though I'm not going to say it over there, I was like, whoa.
Right. Yeah. And I guess some things we're going to hold back.
The point I'm trying to make is there's no way in the world that I could have earned that much money in a savings account. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no way.
Right.
There's no way in the world the bank could have paid that much money.
And then too, would you have had that discipline to keep it in the bank all that time with you having access to it?
Right.
That's the other part.
Yeah. You got to leave it there if you go. Right.
That's that other part.
Ain't no need of creating an asset if you're just gonna spend it.
Right. And then with the savings attached to your checking account at your bank or your credit union, you always have access to it. You see what I'm saying? That discipline has to be awfully strong. And I don't know a lot of people who can do it. There are some who are great savers at the banks or whatever, but you become a even better saver, a more empowered saver, investor when you put it in the hands of somebody else. And it is a product that is guaranteed to return your money.
Yeah.
Compounding interest.
Well, for one of the
return dividends.
Discipline is it's not as accessible.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
As just running to the ATM machine
and doing a transfer.
and pulling your money out. Right. Exactly.
So, the assets that you're buying, are they increasing in value, and are they there and available for needs that may come up? Because I was going to say that's what happened to one of your policies. One time we had to pull some money. The village was in such a bad state at one little small point. Hate to say it. But that was an asset that was in place, and we, had to borrow a little money.
I don't mind saying it. I don't mind saying it. I don't mind.
He's over there clapping his hands.
I don't mind saying it.
We had something in place. So our years of good times, years of gravy, things were happening and going well for us, lots of money coming in. I encourage you, let's set up this account. Let's set up this policy for
That's
you.
right. Yes, you
So when the time of famine came, and it's coming for everybody, it comes. Yeah. There was something in the pot that we could pull from.
Yeah. What do we have to do? Do we have to have the roof replaced or something?
Something. I don't remember.
I forgot it was something major we had to have done.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have the money to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But was able to tap the funds that had accrued in the insurance policy and borrow from that. And the village hasn't been able to pay it back yet, but
we weren't going to say all that, but
yes, I was. Oh yeah, let's keep it real.
Oh God,
I don't want people thinking that we're swimming in, I don't want to mislead folk to thinking like we got it like that. No, we ain't got it like that.
No, yeah,
we're just trying to properly manage what we do have.
Yes,
and I find that is the major problem with the most of us. Is the most of us is not that we don't have the funds, but
it's mismanagement.
It's mismanaging the monies that we do have. That if we did,
and you know why? Again, because we don't have accounts already set up that our money goes into automatically.
Okay,
that's why we mismanage.
Yeah.
So when we get paid, we should have an account already established where it automatically is pulled from our checking account and it goes into your PIA. It pays for your permanent life insurance. It goes into your Roth IRA. So whatever's left, that's what you can play with.
Yeah.
You're going to have very little left to mismanage. But again, when you don't have accounts set up, you got all this money at your disposal, many of us.
Yeah.
Many of us are making way more money than we've ever made. And we are mismanaging it. We're buying way too many shoes. We're buying way too many whatever. We're giving out too much money to people who need to stand on their own feet.
I just got this analogy. I'm sure many of you out there watching will be able to relate to what I'm saying. Have you ever moved from one location to the other, one house to the other, one apartment to the other, whatever? And when you moved, you realized, or you didn't realize, I should say, that you had so much stuff. He said, "Oh my God, I didn't realize I had so much stuff here."
Yes, I know that feeling.
That's how it is with our money.
Yes.
Same thing.
Okay.
The reason why you don't realize what you can tap, brothers and sisters, is because you're not connected to a professional.
Oh, okay.
Who can properly organize,
give you structure and help you accumulate.
Yes, exactly.
Well said. Yeah,
exactly. And that's why people like Minister Stewart does what she does. That's what she does. She's trained in how to put all that stuff together for you. That's why she says, let me sit down with you and go over some stuff to help you see, so we can take a good look at what you do have. So many times, brothers and sisters, we don't realize what is right at our fingertips because we're so distracted by so much stuff. So make an appointment with this sister. Call Minister Stewart. All right. In fact, let me do this right quick. Let me put that information on the screen here for a second, so how people can get in touch with you. Let me add this. I'm gonna take us off the screen for a second. Well, I can do it that way. There. Let's see. I forgot to do all that today.
You're looking for it.
I got the wrong thing here, dog.
I can share it too verbally if you like.
Just do that. I thought I had the right.
Normally you have it ready. It's okay. Basically, you can reach me on the phone at 314-324-5711. That is my mobile business number. Again, that is 314-324-5711. My business name is Capital Portfolios, so you can reach me also on my website, which is mycapitalportfolio.com. That's mycapitalportfolio.com. mycapitalportfolio.com, mycapitalportfolio.com.
I'm trying to find, I put all that on a slide.
That's
Everything
okay.
you just said, I put it on a slide, and now I can't find it.
Yes. You can also reach me. I have a business page, My Capital Portfolios on Facebook, and also Instagram. So I look forward to seeing all of you all and hearing from you. And again, let's empower each other, encourage each other to come out of the darkness, come out of the fear.
Yes, yes.
Let's be an asset, because we were born an asset. We just don't know it. So again, assets are supposed to increase in value and worth over time, but you got to be under the right teaching. You got to be under the right source.
Yes.
Right drip. You got to know what you have so that it can grow and you can empower yourself and others, your family and the like. You're still looking, I see.
I sure am.
I know you had it 2 weeks ago when I was on the show. So again, thank you for everybody who commented last week. I haven't had a chance to respond to everybody, and those who are listening today, and any of my clients that are watching the show. Thank you for trusting me and being with me through all these years. So it means a lot.
Yeah.
You pulled up your
to subscribe to my YouTube channel, but I'm gonna come back to that. Here's what I was trying.
There it is. That's
what I was trying to get to, y'all. Brothers and sisters, reach out to Sister Stewart right there. Okay. Yeah, buddy.
So again, it's been a great show. Hopefully we didn't make anybody feel bad.
Today, as always, you know, you are the money woman.
Work your money.
In fact, let me while people are reading that, let me let them hear this again.
Work your money.
While they're.
What have you done to prepare yourself for the ups and downs of today's economy? How are you going to protect
your
your family's assets and
it.
financial future? I'm Karin, Stewart of Capital Portfolios. Call me so we can discuss things that you can do at 314-324-5711. That's 314-324-5711.
I can't help it. That's a bad groove.
Work your money.
Work your money.
Yeah. It is nice. I love it.
Y'all, this is the Heroes theme music. See, this is just the groove without her announcement. Check it out. Ow! And it says, work your money. Time to work your money. All right, y'all, it's time to work your money. Give her a call. Time to make your money work for you.
Yeah, we created that some years ago. That was a lot of fun.
In fact, I'm going to just let it keep playing.
All right. Work your money.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
A pleasure. Always.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for simply being Karin Stewart.
Hey, I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank your mama and daddy for birthing you. Okay. Yeah.
Thanks to Pastor Leon and Sister Lily Stewart.
Pastor Leon and Sister Lily, Mother Lily Stewart.
I'm loving on them too.
That's right. They gave you life.
Yeah, they did.
And
they gave me
life. Here you are, and you are part of the African village. You've been such a blessing to all of us. You've been a blessing to me, especially as my financial advisor. So I thank you so very much.
You're so welcome.
Brothers and sisters, give Sister Karin a call. Okay. I promise she will be able to help you do what you've been wanting to do and didn't know how to do it.
All right now.
Okay, that's the best way to say that. Karin, thanks for being on.
Thank you so much. We'll talk later.
I will talk to you later.
Uh-huh.
All right. Yeah, brothers and sisters, you've been on with Minister Karin Stewart, the president and CEO of Capital Portfolios Incorporated. You see there her website. All right, go to her website. All right, and see what she offers her services that she offers. There's her Gmail, kstewartmoney@gmail.com, and her phone number as well. reach out to Minister Stewart. I promise, I'm sure that she can help you out in various areas with your finances. Okay? You will not go wrong. All right. Also, brothers and sisters, I encourage you as well, okay, to make a donation today to help us with our expenses. And when you make your donation today, we're going to split it in half and give half to Minister Stewart for coming on today as our guest. So put a little extra in your donations today, okay, so that we can say thank you to Minister Stewart for helping us on today's program. All right. And you see the information there. If you're making your donation through PayPal, your donation address is africanvillage1@aol.com. All right. If you're making your donation on Cash App, it's cash tag Dr. Ray Hagins, and there's one G in my name. If you're making your donation on Zelle, it's my email address, rayhagins@gmail.com. Okay. If you want to mail in your donation, please feel free to do that as well. Make your checks or money orders payable to the African Village and send it to 3520 North Newstead Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63115. Again, that's payable to the African Village, African with a K. Mail it to 3520 North Newstead Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63115. Okay? Yeah. Make your donations there. All right. Also, brothers and sisters, as you know, we have coming up next week, and in fact, the next 3 weeks, we're doing a Declaring Your Independence workshop. Okay. And the reason why we're doing 3 sessions is because so many people are registering for the workshop. All right. So register today. Okay. Email me if you want more information on the workshop. Again, many people don't realize that the United States government has removed your power from you. All right. You need to file the proper paperwork. All right. To reclaim your power, your right of understanding. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we'll be doing that workshop. As you see there, the dates are March 29th, April 5th, and April 12th at 7 o'clock each evening. The workshop cost is $75. That includes materials. All right. Each workshop will only be limited to 25 people per workshop. And the reason for that is because I'm sure I'll have to do a lot of answering questions. Okay. So we don't want too many people in there, cause too much confusion per workshop. All right. I want to be able to minister to everybody's needs. All right. So email me and we'll send you the information to register for the workshop. All right. Okay. And also lastly, but not least, I encourage you to download our app. Okay. Go to your app store or Play Store and search TAVCC. Again, that's TAVCC for the African Village and Cultural Center. Go to your app store. When you see that, you'll see the picture that you see right there on my smart device. You'll see that come up, picture of me. Download it. And when you download it, click yes to accept notifications. This way, everything that we do, when we send out the announcement, you'll get an announcement about it. Okay. Once again, family, thank you for being with me today. All right. And again, Minister Stewart, thank you for being on with me today as well. Now, family, it's time to get out of here. So let's close out with Easy to Love. All right. And I'm going to put our donation address back up so you can do that while we're singing. All right. Yeah. You're easy to love. Beep, ba, ba, you're easy. Thank you, everybody, for being with me today. I admire you. To Dr. Alice Herndon. Thank you, Dr. Herndon, for assisting me today, as you always do. Come on, everybody. The African in me. The African in me. Love the African in you. When we come together, ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. You're easy. Easy to love. You're so easy to love. Yes. Let's do it again. The African in me. Love the African in you. When we come together, ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. You're easy. Easy to love. Yes, you're easy to love. Let's do the principles of my art. I love all of you. The truth that's in me. Love the truth that's in you. When we come together, ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy, yeah. You're easy. Easy to love. Justice. You're easy to love. The justice in me. Come on, everybody. Sing it like you mean it. The justice in me. Love the justice in you. When we come together, ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy, yeah. You're easy. You're easy to love. How about righteousness? The righteousness in me. Come on, everybody. The righteousness in me. Love the righteousness in you. When we come together, ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. Yeah, you're easy. Easy to love. You're so easy to love. Let's close out with the African in me. Come on. The African in me. Love the African in you. When we come together, ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. Yeah, 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 you're easy. Yeah, 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 you're easy to love. I see your note there, Jeff. Okay? You guys will be getting the workshop information on tomorrow. All right? The workshop is next week after next, or next week. All right? You'll be getting the workshop information on tomorrow. Those of you who have sent in requests for it. All right? Email me. You guys take care. And until next week, everybody out there, stay strong. You know why? Because you're easy to love. Yeah.